Recording for real this time. Those kids lost points for nothing. Tuesday, October 26th, my regular class. We get farther into Shadow Club, and then we're seeing what happens from there. Then those get Friday is officially a pink day for the whole breast cancer awareness thing. If you have the pink wristband thing from lunch, welcome to wear it. If you have a pink shirt, welcome to wear it. We get house points for it, which will also get you a B point for it. If you don't have pink, you have two options. One, don't wear pink. Option two, if you have something you want to wear instead, and you tell me ahead of time, I will count that. Because again, it's that whole being responsible ahead of time. So even if it's a blue shirt, if on Thursday you show me a picture of what you're wanting to wear or something along those lines, you go, hey, this is my pink thing, and you tell me the day before, I'm fine with that. That just comes down to, because I understand not everyone has pink stuff. I do, but not everyone else does. And so from there, happy to try and help you out. Brandon?
Did you get B points for wearing pink on Friday?
You get a B point, but yeah. Greg?
I'm gonna wear my sister's Jordans.
That works for me too. See, Friday we also have a quiz, which is the book up to page 74. My goal is to try and read as much as I can with you, because the more I read with you, the less you have to read on your own. And the rumor is you guys don't like reading, so I'm going to try and help you. So sometimes if I don't call on you, don't take it personally. I'm just trying to help save as much time as possible so I can read as much with you guys as I can. And then there, and we're going to, in a moment, I'm going to take a couple minutes because we're going to go through and do the example-y things of you guys finding the connections to your life. So I'm giving you a heads up now. You're going to want to find one because I'm going to be randomly calling on you here in a second. So as I do my babbly thing, find at least one of your examples. You might want to find more than one example because you can't do the same one another kid does, and if a kid steals yours and uses it first, then you'll be out of luck. But in theory, you should have multiple ones marked down. For the homework on Thursday, you have to have 10. And so it's all of 10 sentences that you're writing for, but in a moment, we'll have you go through and give examples. Elizabeth?
Why is it pink day on Wednesday?
Because we wear pink on Wednesdays. I know, it's a nice reference. But I'm not the one that's in control of it. Well, it's from the movie Heathers, but it's just back in the day. Zane, remind me at the end. I'll absolutely do that. That's not all. No, I forgot to unfreeze it. It's so embarrassing. Oh no, my camera, it's frozen. There we go. We already did the book check. I already did the torture kids check. And this thing. So now that I have my cabinets, I can put things in cabinets. One of the things I will put in cabinets is going to be snacks. So to officially let you guys know, if I've not told you, I don't care if you eat during class. It's not a thing that bothers me whatsoever. If you bring your own snacks and you want to sit there and eat, fine with me. My only restrictions on it are, one, don't share. And the reason being is it just causes issues and kids all run across the room and try to grab from each other, and it just gets more kids to lose points. If I catch you sharing food, I charge you points, I charge the kid you gave it 2 points, and I take whatever the food is, just because it seems to solve the issue. The other thing is, don't make a mess, because our custodians clean like once a month, it seems like. And so if you make a giant mess on the floor, it's going to stay there until November. So if you make a mess, I then ban the entire class from getting to have food. The way that impacts you is if you see the annoying kid in class who's eating like he's Cookie Monster and just throwing food at his face while it bounces off, you're like, that child over there doesn't know how to eat food. And then I can be mean to just that one child as opposed to seeing a mess and then being mean to all childs. So just giving you a heads up. If you see a mess, the sooner we can take care of it, I don't have to be mean to you. And then the last part is keep your mask up as much as you can so that I don't get in trouble, because if you keep it down and then people complain, I can't let you eat anymore. So I understand, pull it down, throw food in, put it back up. But if you keep doing it and someone complains about it, then I have no choice. I have to stop it. So that's just my way of trying to let you keep doing it for as long as possible. Along those same lines, I sell snacks. And so I go to the grocery store and I just buy snacks and I keep them in my little cupboard thing over there. You are welcome to buy them from me. Here are my rules for that. One, you have to have over 25 points. Because if you're under 25 points, then you have issues already. and I don't want to have you buy a thing and then get a detention. It costs 5 points to buy a snack from me. So usually it's only those kids who have a lot of points. You're more than welcome to. It counts towards your weekly limit of 15 points. So if you were to buy 3 snacks in a week, you'd have a detention. Because 5 plus 5 plus 5 equals detention. So typically I'm only going to sell you 1 snack a week. If you're a kid that hardly ever loses points, you can probably buy 2 snacks a week. But even then I usually make you wait till Friday just to make sure that you're safe. If you want to buy a snack, just ask me before or after class. Be like, hey, can I buy a snack? And I'm like, as long as you have the points, I'm fine with it. If you buy the snack before class, you can eat it during class. No problem with it. If you buy it after class, I can't do anything. I mean, you're leaving my classroom. So I have no idea what you can eat on the bus. That's up to you and your bus driver. So don't get yourself in trouble on that one as far as that part works.
I don't. My bus driver tried to let her have old and but he should brace it the homophobic.
I think that covers most of it. Oh, if you try to buy snacks during class, it costs 10 points.
What?
So you have to really want them because it's a pain in my patootie to have to go over there and try to get out snacks in the middle of class. But if you're really hungry and you really need food and you have the points for it, I'm fine letting you do that. It's just keeping you in mind how much it costs to make that happen. Greg?
2 questions. Can you not buy granola bars? If you do buy granola bars, don't buy Nutrifan bars. And the second question is, if we spend snacks on points and if we go to the library, would we be able to
Snacks
get...
on points.
You know what I meant, shut up!
If you spend points on snacks, then what did you say after that?
If you spend points on snacks, do you still get to go to if we go to the library?
And that's a good question. And the answer is no. So because that counts towards your loss of points. So if you were to buy snacks this week, Thursday, if you've not lost points, but you bought a snack, you wouldn't be able to go up to the loft. So I would recommend waiting till Friday or wait till after class on Thursday. But yeah, because on here, I don't mark a difference. It just counts as losing points. So that would be a solid question to ask. Max?
If you were to try and take it away from us, but we decided to somehow eat it all before you were able to take it from us and then give you the wrapper, how would you react?
I just banned the class from having food. Also.
Boy, that's right.
Alright, and then to there. Alright. Now, I get to randomly call on a few of you. When I do, you're just going to tell me whatever page number your connection was that you found, what it says in the book, and then how it connects to you in some way. So that's all I'm looking for you to sort of be able to do as those examples go through. Madsen, what do you have for your first one?
On page 20, they said the best running shoes made cost almost $200. They were being really snotty, and I've heard people being like that where they're trying to brag about it.
That would work for me. I mean, yeah, when I was a kid, it was the Air Jordans, but I never got to have an actual pair of those things. So that would work. Andre!
Pick someone else. It's page 22. It says biting, and that's my brother. He was young. I have a ton of bite marks on my arm.
Is he younger or older?
Younger.
Just wanted to make sure. I've had a couple of kids say that it was an older sibling, and I was like, eee.
My older sibling bite me.
And so we all right. Zane, what do you have?
No, I was saying my older sibling bite me.
Oh, silly of me. All right. Melissa, what do you have? 12, okay.
And they should laugh and walk out loud to mad silences. That's my sister whenever she makes fun of me.
She does an evil, mean person laugh? I'd like to meet your sister. That sounds interesting. Wait, younger or older?
Younger.
You guys have a lot of interesting younger siblings.
Yes.
All right. Let's go. Simi. Hi.
Page 25.
All right.
It says track events. I used to teach
Says what?
track events.
Okay, track events. Gotcha.
I used to teach them.
Oh, do you? What's your event?
We went to Fisher's High School and we had like
relay?
The thing where you hand off the sticky thing and you do the runny thing? That'd be the relay thing. Yeah, that would work. I was just curious if you had liked it, especially if anything that you went for from there. I did Andre. Dominic!
On page 9 it says tiny body. That's me.
Tiny body?
Yeah.
So you just threw shade at yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, I can accept
It's
that
the
one.
most random thing.
I'm still looking.
Karam?
Page 20. He smiled at I'm better than you, but yeah, better than you smile at me. My brother.
What was the first part? The smile what?
The I'm better than you.
Oh, and then is that older or younger brother?
Older.
So we finally have an older sibling that's a jerk. Just want to check. Yeah. I'm not calling you out on that one. Tristan?
So So on page 22, there's a weak and spine, and I said my sister.
Older or younger?
Yeah, older.
All right, see, another older sibling that we get to make fun of on that one, too. Eli?
Oh, the page 20 cost almost $200.
We already did that one. Don't you slap your book at me. I think that was Emily.
Yeah.
Did you do that one? The shoes cost. Don't you give me a look like you're confused. I remember which one it was.
Fine. Page 15, I did a nerd, and I did my little brother.
Younger or older?
He
just said little brother.
I know. I was thinking he was paying attention. I like to entertain myself. On that one, and me harassing Eli, we'll stop there. Those of you I didn't get to, we'll come back and torture you in a little bit. We can't torture everyone at the
I had a
beginning.
good one. See, this is why I hate class, Zane.
Alright.
I won't be here for Beth.
We'll do. I'm not recording during Beth, so you're fine.
Oh, thank you.
Let's see. We left with you guys on page 28.
Why am I at 21?
I don't know.
Right, I'm at 28.
I'm on 67.
You mean 38?
Oh my gosh. What page?
28, towards the bottom. So now, past this, we have our main character. Oh, say, Jared, the main character. What sport does Jared play? Track. Who does Jared not like?
Disgusting rat.
Nice. No, not you. Another kid who I was charging points to. No, a different kid. I said not you that time.
Oh, thank you.
Let's see, we have that one. Why does he not like Austin?
Oh,
He's always second.
There you go. And his friend is Cheryl. Who does Cheryl not like?
Rebecca.
Why does she not like Rebecca?
Animal cracker mango.
And that was our stopwatching. Which character does the mean crocodile? That's Austin. That was Austin smashing him under his foot where he gets to make fun of him all the time. There. Ooh. What kind of character is Tyson?
The kid that goes like this.
The weird kids.
Good work for me. So they give, and Tyson's gonna pop up again here in a little bit. We'll get to meet more about
The
him.
gross weirdo with the crazy hair.
Now,
Gotta be a child.
and that was them hanging out and doing
they were gonna choose the leader.
the team captain, right? Yeah, nicely done. And we got to, we left off with them in the treehouse.
That's the deformed treehouse.
And the don't throw shade at that tree.
That treehouse is not a treehouse.
It's ugly.
What is that door going to? Are you gonna just walk and stand up? What kind of door? Why is there a door? An outhouse.
Alright, so this was Cheryl and Jared. They're in the weird
bunker.
tree outhouse. And they're talking about making fun of people.
Yes.
Zane?
I'm yelling at Miss Frolic.
Oh, how silly of
She
me.
just
Elizabeth?
talks crap about me.
Are the people that are on the
She's nice.
Eventually we're going to get to all of them, but yes, I don't know which one's which except
Bobby?
for...
I think
Joe.
the ugly, the
Neil.
one.
I've got a feeling the big head person is probably Jared.
Yeah.
But,
He looks like the one from Tokyo Drift.
and then the African American kid we're going to meet coming up in a little bit too. So those are the only two I know for sure.
Wait.
And the other ones, there should be an Asian girl, but it's hard to tell the faces on there. So we all know that. Nick?
So, there's a piece in my book that says Lost in Space. The person who had it at one point gave you a big ol' insult.
Okay.
They said, Mr. Brovicast.
That's not even big an insult. Bella?
Why does the main dude, Jared, kind of look like the dude from Tokyo Drift?
He does. I don't know, maybe they used his face.
He looks like Sid. I'm not wrong.
I agree. Halfway down 28, they're sort of going back and forth. Right after it says the king cobra in the lunchbox. It says, well then, how about a king cobra in her lunchbox? No, wait, okay. I've got one for you. Why don't we get her a nice date with Tyson McGaw? Oh, that's a fate worse than death. We both laughed good and hard, just trying to imagine Rebecca and slimy Tyson McGaw together. What a match. I can't believe we're really this nasty. But isn't it fun? Said Cheryl. I mean, I guess it was. It was sort of like watching those horror movies. Sure, they're sick and gross and bloody and all that, but everyone still loves them, right? I highlighted mine just yesterday and put Halloween because I went to go see that over break. And it was sick and gross and bloody, and also people loved it.
It was fun. What's his name? Michael Myers.
Yeah, it was Michael Myers, who apparently visited my car.
Miguel.
So I like the only thing they would do is like wait, I don't know.
You know, like Michael Myers
It's entertaining but boring.
I mean, it's not like we're really doing anything to them, said Cheryl. We're not really mean and terrible. It's just a game. Everybody has someone that really irks them, and no, there's nothing wrong with pretending, right? Wait a second, I just had a brainstorm. How about we'll pay some bozo to pretend to teach Austin to walk on hot coals, and when he finally goes for it, he'll burn off his feet. So much for running. You are awful, laughed Cheryl. Then she stopped laughing and thought for a moment. Without the sound of our voices, the night seemed very quiet.
They like each other.
I don't. Yes, they do. I don't think I heard as much as one cricket. Hey, wouldn't it be weird if any of those things actually happened to Austin and Rebecca? I mean, like, somebody up there was listening? Farshaw.
Oh.
I'll make sure I keep my eye out for bear traps, I said. She laughed, and I could barely see her now in the shadows on the other side of the treehouse. Like I said, it was small. I could feel her Reeboks touching my Nikes. I wiggled my feet. She wiggled back. Reeboks are sort of like, they're the same kind of shit like Nikes, Adidas, Reeboks, stuff like that.
Oh, where you're walking around with Reeboks.
I wiggled my feet and she wiggled back, like we were playing footsie or something dumb like that. I looked over the edge railing. It was clear that night. No fog like the last few nights. Cheryl's house was the last on the street, and from there you could just barely see the ocean between the trees a quarter-mile away. It was my favorite time of day, when the faint blue glow against the horizon is just enough to make everything look black against it, just after the colors have faded from the sky. Back when we were kids, I always loved talking with Cheryl, even with Randall, in the treehouse at this time of day. Ghost stories, or I don't know, even just stupid talk. Now that we were older and busier, it seemed as though, I don't know, I never really got to talk to Cheryl alone when it was quiet like this. It was different from the old days, but I still liked it. I wiggled my feet again, and she wiggled back. Maybe we shouldn't have done all that before. What? You know, talk mean about Rebecca and Austin. It's like I feel guilty now. Now that we stopped, I began to feel it too. Well, I mean, it was your idea. Well, thanks. Now I feel worse.
Look what you did.
Sorry. Then I gave her her own speech back. It's only words. It's only like sticking your tongue out at me. That's all. Like you said, it's only pretend. We're not hurting anybody. Right. It gets all of our frustrations and stuff, so we don't go around being angry at them all day. Right. Somehow, I still don't think I convinced her. Actually, I didn't convince myself either. I couldn't. Not when my mind was still filled with all those nasty, ridiculous things that could be brought down upon lost in space. What bothered me most was that, like Cheryl said, it was fun. I didn't like feeling that it was fun. I moved closer to Cheryl. Somehow I felt that moving closer to her would make that creepy feeling go away. Do you really hate Austin? Cheryl asked. I couldn't see her talking now. It was too dark. I could just barely make out her shape against the trees behind her. I don't know. Do you really hate Rebecca? Cheryl sighed. I didn't answer for a long time. Then she said, It's not really hate. She's my cousin. I care about her, but sometimes I think she enjoys making me feel lousy. Yeah, I know Austin does. Do you really hate Austin, Jared? I don't know. I really didn't know. It's all gotten so confused. She thought for a good long time. Would you be happy if Austin Pace moved far away? Yeah. Would you be happy if he got hurt so bad he couldn't run fast? No, I don't think so. I think I'd just feel sorry for him. How about if he died? God, Cheryl, come on. Sorry, dumb question. She was silent for a long, long time. She was thinking, it is foreshadowing. She was thinking about something, I could tell. Then she finally spoke, very quietly and slowly. I know what the real question is. The real question to find out whether or not you hate him? Okay, what? The question is, if there were a way for you to make it happen, would you wish that Austin Pace had never been born?
Yes.
The cold of the night hit me just then. I don't think it was just the cold. It was something more, something inside, not out. And it was because I knew the answer to that question, and I didn't like the answer at all. Would you? Yeah, I know how that feels. The breeze played with the dying leaves above us. The chill got stronger. Before, I just felt nasty. Now, I felt weird. Weird and uncomfortable. With myself, with that question. Do I wish Lost in Space had never been born? Yes. Yeah, I wish that. As much as I hated myself for wishing that, deep down, really deep down, I did feel that way. And I couldn't change that. It was scary. Cheryl, I'm spooked out. Me too. It's getting cold. Maybe we should go in? Cheryl went first, and I followed her down. You really do feel that way too, huh? I don't want to talk about that anymore. Let's talk about something nice. But we didn't talk about anything nice. We didn't talk much about anything at all. That good feeling we had when we first climbed into the treehouse was gone. It wouldn't come back for the rest of the night. We went in, watched 10 minutes of TV with her brother, then I hopped on my bike and rode home. I tried to chase that eerie feeling away by burying my head in that first night's homework. It worked. By morning, the feeling was gone. I felt like my old self, and I went on as if what we discovered about ourselves in the treehouse that night meant absolutely nothing at all. Ignoring that night was a mistake. Not the first one, not the last one either. Maybe that feeling was meant to be a warning, a bright red alarm flashing in our eyes. If it was, well, we were both too stupid to notice it. Chapter: The Fire and the Agony. People were milling around the phys ed bulletin board before classes. Ours wasn't the only team choosing captains that day, and everyone there waited impatiently for each coach to put up the results. I wasn't one of the kids waiting. Okay, sure, I wanted to be captain, but I didn't want to think about it. The more I thought about it, the more worried I would get, and I'd feel miserable until the results went up. It was better to think about anything else until then. I thought about my new teachers, my old friends, what I would have for lunch, anything but the track team and Austin Pace and his $1 million Aeropeds that never got dirty and looked like they came from planet Krypton or something like that. I wandered around a bit before the homeroom bell rang, looking for people I hadn't seen the day before. People really do change in one summer. Charlie Garcias had grown like 6 inches since June, and half of everyone I knew seemed to have gotten rid of their braces. I talked to Ralphie Sherman, who said that he made a movie in Hollywood over the summer. Ralphie was always good for a laugh because he never uttered a word of truth in his entire life. Pretty soon, I forgot all about the track team. I was in a good mood. I mean, such a good mood. I even said hello to Tyson McGaw. He grunted back, and 5 minutes later, he got himself into a fight with some kid whose name I don't even remember. Okay, watching Tyson get into fights was like a school tradition. Personally, I never got into a real fight with him. Like I said before, Tyson fought like an animal. I wanted nothing to do with that. Just looking at him, you could tell that something wasn't quite right. His eyes were kind of like far away, like he wasn't seeing you, and his stringy matted hair was just plain ugly. It seemed no amount of combing could help that. Tyson was definitely not a mother's dream. Mr. Green saw the fight, ran down the hall. Mr. Green was a vice principal, but doubled as the school guidance counselor, which must have been a tough job since so many kids go wacko during junior high. I highlighted that and put both of my own children went wacko during junior high. Apparently junior high just does that to people.
Elementary too.
For you, it could be elementary too. But
Intermediate.
a lot of junior high.
In intermediate, people start dating you.
It was already. Yeah.
After Mr. Green had broken up the fight, which wasn't much of a fight, it was more like Tyson doing an impersonation of the Tasmanian devil. Oh, pause there real quick. If you had not grown up watching Looney Tunes cartoons,
Oh yeah.
We do not have a chopper.
this is the Tasmanian devil. He's the one that forms like a little
The tornado thing.
thing. Words are hard. Tornado. If you are unaware, there's an actual. It's named after an actual animal in Australia. There's a section of Australia called Tasmania, and this little creature looks like a raccoon kind of thing. It's like the same size as a raccoon, and it's called a Tasmanian devil. The way it's got its name is this little thing the size of a raccoon can take down things the size of a deer. And the way it does it is it runs and will climb up the animal with its claws, bite it in the neck, and then it uses its legs to kick off and then spin like a helicopter blade. And when it spins, it knocks the animal off balance, and when the animal hits the ground, it then goes right into like the vein and kills it. So it attacks by essentially biting and spinning, which is why when they made the cartoon character, they make him spin like a tornado because of that. So I didn't know that was an actual creature, so I started Googling it and doing research, and I was like, that's kind of crazy. Yeah, I mean, it is until it tries to take you down. Until it tries to get you.
Okay. I put
Wolverine.
Any particular reason why?
Yeah, because you're super crazy. You take beak bites for no reason.
I don't know about no reason, but
That's not really a reason. It's just not a good one.
everyone in the hall began to applaud and laugh at Tyson as he continued struggling with Green. Alright, I have to admit, I laughed a little too. Like I said, it was a school tradition. Mr. Green held him as he struggled, and then Tyson turned to Green and screamed out a whole lot of words I don't want to repeat, and started breathing like a bull ready to charge. Do you know what he did? He screamed at Green. What did he do, Tyson? He called me a slime ball. I just laughed right away. I couldn't help it. It was the way he said it. All that anger in his voice. It was all long and drawn out. Slime ball. Everyone laughed. But I guess I must have laughed the loudest because Tyson broke away from Green and stomped up to me. You think you're funny, huh? He yelled, almost ready to pull back his fist and hit me. Hey, you touch me, Tyson. I swear I'll flatten you. I'll hang you by your toenails over a bear trap. That one really sent him for a loop. He looked at me with those weird eyes, trying to figure out how that would feel. For a split second, I felt bad for him. Here he was, this nutty kid in a frenzy, and everyone was laughing at him. He must have felt terrible. I almost felt like saying, it's okay, Tyson, you're not a slime ball, just take it easy. Just to make him feel better, but then everyone around me began to laugh even harder, and Tyson stormed off. Green gave me this dirty look that said, bear trap? I'll give you a bear trap, and ran after Tyson. Yep, school was the same as ever. As the homeroom bell rang, I heard a voice behind me. Jared, I'd like to speak with you for a minute. I recognized the voice right away. I turned to see Coach Schuler. You know that feeling you get when you think something great is going to happen and your heart misses a beat and you get shivers down your spine?
Good afternoon, Chargers. I've got one announcement. All 8th grade students participating in the DC trip should meet in the library today during BEST. A list of these students was emailed to teachers yesterday as verification about who should attend. Again, all 8th grade students participating in the DC trip should meet in the library today during BEST. Thank you.
I'm gonna go twinkle and walk past my
Your heart misses a beat and you get shivers down your spine? Well, that's what I felt just then. Why would Coach Schuler pull me aside to talk to me unless he had good news for me about the captaincy. Hi, Coach, what's up? You, got a minute? Yeah. Great. Why don't you, come to my office? I followed him down the hall and into the gym, where it was much quieter. Our footsteps echoed in the huge empty gym as we crossed it. It was cold, and the air had the sour smell of the floor varnish. We went into the gym office. Have a seat, he said. Then he picked up his clipboard and began to look at it. He sat in the other chair behind the desk. I told up the results? Yeah, I said, trying to sound like I didn't really care. It was pretty close. Yeah? He looked up from his clipboard. I really couldn't read his expression. He had a poker face, I guess. You could never tell what was in his head. He stalled, keeping me in suspense. I didn't have a poker face. I knew all the expectation was in my eyes. In my lap, I had my fingers crossed so hard my knuckles were turning white. And there we stopped.
Ah, I need
There we stopped. Top of page 38.
Can I